court small claims. Let's go to Andrew in Orlando. Andrew, you're on News Talk WDBO. Go ahead.
All right. I'm here in Orlando, Florida, with the Occupy Orlando protesters. And last night there was an arrest of over 24 individuals, and we believe, as a group, that our rights, constitutionally protected rights of free speech and peaceful assembly are being violated.
Well, Andrew, I'm going to stop you for a minute and let's have a conversation, all right?
Okay.
So first of all, I'm so sorry to hear that. I read in the newspaper this morning that everything was fine and everything was good, and at nighttime you guys were sleeping on the sidewalks and you're only in the park during the normal park hours. What would cause 24 of you guys to get arrested? What did they arrest you for?
Well, the OPD has been exceedingly benevolent during the march last Saturday, and had authorized us, upon leaving the park at 11 p.m., to occupy the vacant lot across the street from the Chamber of Commerce building where the old WDBO studio
Andrew, and I read that in the newspaper. My first thought is, in the newspaper they said it was a private piece of property. Assuming that's true, do you know who owns that piece of property?
We actually had intermittent contact with the owner of the property, who stopped by several times. He did not condemn us from being there, nor did he seem to condone us, but he didn't seem to have any particular issue with the protesters occupying that piece of property. It wasn't until last night that the city and the OPD cited trespassing violations as a reason to extradite us from the property.
Okay, so Andrew, so here's the issue, okay? You are on that piece of property. The private owner knows you're on that piece of property. He is, in a sense, condoning it. At some point in time, it would be my opinion that when he says, hey, you guys, I don't want you on this piece of property anymore, in my opinion, he would have to give you some kind of notice, whether he tells you in person, whether he tacks up a sign on his lot. I don't think he can simply change his mind on a whim, call the police department and say, look, go arrest those guys for trespassing. Were you given any kind of notice that he no longer wanted you on that property?
I had been present for the 2 times that he spoke to us, and neither time did he in any way seem to condemn our staying there. So, and I wasn't around when the arrests were taking place last night. I only heard about it this morning through the Occupy Orlando Facebook page. As I get here to the park, there's still an Occupy presence.
Okay.
But right now we're all protected under the open hours of the park.
Okay, so Andrew, this is not a constitutional issue. This is a trespassing issue. And so we all know, and I assume that you would agree, that you guys were on private property. When that owner says, don't be on my private property anymore, you cannot be there. Again, it comes down to what kind of notice did he give you guys. And that would be interesting to look at. So Andrew, it really comes down to, you got 24 people who've been charged with trespassing, and I assume that that's in a sense a very light criminal defense case, Andrew. And if you want to call our office next week, we'd be happy to give you some assistance with that and maybe some guidance.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time and your advice today.
Hey, Andrew, I say right on to you guys, and thank you all for bringing this all these issues to our notice. When I read about you in the paper, by the way, I thought, I should go down and say hello to those guys. So good for you guys. Go on.
Absolutely. Thank you for your continuing objective coverage.
All right, Andrew. Bye-bye.